Discover the one mistake James Gunn made in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and how he's learning from it to create a better DC universe. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Fans were pleasantly left surprised when the first ever trailer of James Gunn's upcoming Superman dropped. Inspired by the All-Star Superman comics and more, suffice to say that the trailer alone makes it look like it is a comic book movie that we all need. While fan expectations are at an all-time high, Gunn had more good news to share. Recently, he revealed the one mistake from his time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that he will not be making in his DC franchise. When the initial plans of Superman were announced, pretty much the majority was skeptical of James Gunn, the casting, and the storyline. Not many expected that Gunn would be able to do justice to the DC universe. While we will have to wait till the release of Superman to see how good of a job he did, the trailer of the film seems to have proved to fans that the comic book universe is in good hands. As fans celebrate the film's trailer and appreciate Gunn's work, they have more reason to celebrate. Gunn, recently, revealed to host Brandon Davis that he won't be repeating the mistake of having end-credit scenes from his Marvel days. The one time I ****ked myself was when I put Adam Warlock in, because then I'm like, oh, ***T. Now I gotta put Adam Warlock in the next movie, which was actually a pain in the ***gate. So, I'm not gonna set up a whole universe with end-credit scenes. Even though the director exclaimed he would love for the audience to see the end-credit scenes and give them a little something, the thought of being pigeonholed is what will keep him away from adding any end credits. Not only will this allow him a wider playfield to craft stories, but it will also keep the anticipation and excitement alive. When James Gunn had revealed the first ever photo of David Corenswet dressed as Superman, fans were skeptical after seeing the dark and serious settings. However, the trailer completely changed things, making fans feel that Superman is the DC movie they always needed. Giving the vibes of the All-Star Superman comics and the 90s Superman cartoons, the film so far seems like a blockbuster in the making. However, when asked by Brandon Davis as to how much of the film is shown in the trailer, Gunn replied, nothing. Gunn later added that the trailer contains a lot of scenes from the beginning and some scenes from later in the movie. But when it comes to the final product, a lot of it is not revealed in the trailer. This is not only a piece of good news for fans, but also for the film. Since much of the film is concealed, it will enhance the viewing experience of the audience by keeping them engaged throughout the story. While James Gunn's hopeful Superman takes over the internet, fans still respect Henry Cavill's film for this perfect ode to original Superman. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn's Superman teaser trailer hits us with bright colors right from the beginning. It is a hint that the director is aiming to bring back the character's signature traits of hope and optimism. The mood of the film is significantly different from Henry Cavill's Superman. Man of Steel was a dark, gritty film that brought Zack Snyder's unique vision to the screen. While fans accuse Snyder of steering away from the comics, the Rebel Moon director did retain some classic elements of the beloved character. One specific scene from his film, featuring the superhero's attempts to make his first flight, is a perfect ode to Golden Age Superman. Throughout the new, hopeful teaser of Superman, James Gunn has hinted that comics will play a huge part in this David Corenswet-led film. While Gunn's attempts seem to work, it is still no match to how Zack Snyder used classic references for his Superman. Gunn and Snyder's takes are prone to comparisons due to the nature of how things transition from DCU to DCU. While many still debate which of the two directors understands the character better, one scene in Henry Cavill's Man of Steel stood unmatched by the new Superman film. In one of the scenes, Cavill's Superman is testing out his powers and he attempts to fly into the sky. After a couple of failed attempts that were more of a jump than a flight, Cavill's character succeeds. One fan mentioned in the YouTube video of the scene that it was in homage to the Golden Age Superman. The fan at Comastorm23 explained the original Superman could only jump over buildings and could lift cars. Then later on, the writers kept giving Superman more powers. The fan further went on to call Snyder's film a hidden gem of superhero movies. While James Gunn also throws in some classic references in the new teaser, it hardly comes close to Man of Steel's efforts. The classic look in the teaser John Williams' music, and the visual text between scenes all have influences from Richard Donner's Superman films. More recent superhero film directors have received the wrath of the audience for steering away from the source material for the sake of originality. However, James Gunn plans to reel in the comic book fandom by giving them what they exactly want. Fans saw a Man of Steel who is more relatable and spreads optimism around. Particularly, one scene in the trailer where David Corenswet's character swoops in to save a girl from crashing debris is something classic Superman does. Superman stands as hope for the people as the chant Superman gets louder and louder during the run of the teaser. It is further highlighted in the teaser when a young boy raises a flag with the S symbol and whispers Superman's name during a time of crisis. Gunn himself mentioned the inspiration from comic books during an interview. He shared with comicbook.com, "There's a lot of stuff from the comic books above and beyond anything else, All-Star Superman, that influenced me more than anything. The comic-accurate costumes, the settings, and even the plethora of characters and Easter eggs that flash through the scenes look all promising." The colorful filter also helps bring hope and optimism into the film and gives it a classic look. James Gunn revealed whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow to be one of his inspirations for his upcoming Superman film. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. In Superman's long-stretched history, Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow by Alan Moore can be easily regarded as revolutionary. Being one of the most blatantly meta moments in the franchise, it felt more like a glorious swan song than an issue of a comic. The events that led to the creation of the comic and the themes that it dealt with were tragic and just unavoidable. Considering this, one cannot help but wonder if the cinematic universe, part of the franchise, is doomed to repeat history in the most magnificently poetic ways possible. With James Gunn's upcoming film being all that fans seem to be able to talk about, the project may have taken a page out of Moore's book and paid tribute to the legend. The one thing about comics that has stayed consistent through the decades is change. Characters change, their versions evolve, and stories are written time and time again to satisfy the gluttony of their consumers. In the 1980s, there was an evident battle between the Silver Age of comics and the stories we now know as classics. The 1986 Crisis of Infinite Earths issues acted as the end of the era of the multiverse to bring together a new, singular reality. Made to be reader-friendly and something fresh, it cleared the slate completely, a new version of Superman, called Man of Steel by John Byrne. However, writers like Alan Moore were left to clean up decades of storylines, wrap them up in a neat bow, and make way for new and fresh ideas. This led to the birth of Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. It was a love letter for the characters that had been a part of the franchise for years and were suddenly given a makeover. An attempt to showcase how Superman never needed a reboot or changes, being a perfect character already. It gave a meta and dark end for the character, filled with melancholic themes of replacement and torment for the sake of a change in scenery. Superman is certainly put through the ringer in this issue, being set 10 years after his tragic death. He had his identity revealed, and all the villains came and attacked him in peculiar manners, as if they represented the real-life foes that this comic was facing. Additionally, several people close to him died, including Krypto the dog, who sacrificed himself to kill the Kryptonite Man. However, there were several painful elements to the comic outside of the story itself. There seemed to be several hints to the real-life situation of the franchise, specifically when the main antagonist was revealed to be